This is the Committee on Hawaiian Affairs. We're at the 1 o'clock on February 13, here in conference room 224. We have two things on our agenda, and before we get started, we are at the deadline right now to get these things wrapped up. This meeting is being streamed live on YouTube. If we have to stop or take a break for technical difficulties, we will reconvene as quickly as possible to try and get these matters through. I want to remind testifiers you have 2 minutes for your testimony. If you have submitted written testimony, we have it, we have read it, and you can stand on that just in the interest of time. We appreciate your understanding as we go through this. And with that, on the first measure, Senate Bill 1410. My testifier list.
DHHL.
Yeah, DHHL.
Support. Kali Watson, DHHL.
Yeah,
Called you.
good, Colleen.
Two.
I know, I was looking for that.
Come on up.
Okay, next colleague, go ahead, please.
Good afternoon, Kali Watson with Department of Hawaiian Homelands, Chairman Richards and Vice Chair. Aloha. The particular bill is pretty straightforward. You know, we're always wanting the counties who's in better position to maintain this infrastructure to take that over. So this facilitates that transition. Typically, we have a kind of a hard time getting them to take it over. So this not only gives a deadline, but more importantly, kind of mandates them to, if we submit the proper application requesting their taking it over, they're required to respond in a timely manner.
Okay, thank you, colleague. Just might as well sit there. This is a short testifier list. Is there anybody else in the room who would like to submit oral testimony? IT, do we have anything on, or anyone on Zoom for testimony?
Nobody on Zoom, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Open for questions. Seeing none, thank you, colleague. Okay. Moving on to the next on the agenda, Senate Bill 1549. And all right, Kali, back up again.
Yes, again, good afternoon, Kali Watson. With respect to Senate Bill 1549, you know, it's always very heartening as well as encouraging, and more importantly, a great reflection on the community when they take the initiative to move forward on projects like this. You know, with the Kanahili Community Association and various parties, they're attempting to get the financing to put in this multi-service center with all kind of nice amenities that really makes the community, you know, it's a place where you want to live because you have all these different things you can participate in. So this is a way to fund it. We're very supportive of it. Bonding obviously is a more cost-effective way to do it. And so whatever we can do to help facilitate this, we're there to support.
Okay, thank you, Kali. Next on the testifier, I have Iwalani Laban McBrayer in the room.
We're going to have Nadia pass it out to you folks, what I have.
Okay, thank you.
Aloha Chair Richards, Vice Chair Buenaventura, and committee members. I am Iwalani Laban McBrayer, Kaupea Homestead Association President, and I'm also the SHAW, which stands for Sovereign Council of Hawaiian Homestead Association, Oahu Mokapuni Council. I am here on behalf of Kanahili President Randy Akau, who is unable to attend today and has prior commitment. So he has asked me to speak on this Kanahili project that we have worked together since on its inception. There has been 16 years of a timeline of inclusive and collaborative planning in its Kanahili Homestead project with the community members. In 2009, Kanahili was built with 403 homes, representing over 2,000 plus family members that currently reside in the homestead community. 2 years later, in 2011, Kanahili Homestead was created and registered. In the next 3 years, from 2011 to 14, the community gathered together in the designing and planning of their park. A year later, in 2015, DeBartolo Development, Ed Cobell from the developer of Kamakana Ali'i and Kapolei, provided $500,000 for Phase 1 of the park in Kanahili. In the next 4 years, in 2019, Kanahili established their 501(c), and they engaged with Shade, a nonprofit, architect Dean Sakamoto, who's here today, to help plan Phase 2. A year later, in 2020, Phase 1 of the park was complete, which consisted of a playground, a basketball court, a volleyball court, and some green space, and a little picnic table where it was a gathering place. 2 years later, in 2022, the plan and budget is complete. The Kanahili Homestead Association is ready to build and needs of funding.
Please wrap up.
Yes, why is this SB 1549 important? This project aligns with two federal laws, the 1921 Hawaiian Homes Commission Act and the 1959 Admissions
wrap up.
Act, to take on the responsibilities of the beneficiaries on their homeland. This project
Thank you.
also.
Thank you.
Yes.
Please wrap up.
Thank you. And what I like to say that this,
Thank you.
this
We've got
project.
2 minutes. I want to
Yes,
stick to it.
thank you.
Thank you. All right. Those are the only registered testifiers. Do we have anybody else that would like to speak? Please come up. Happy to do it that way. That's good.
Hi, my name is Patty Tankayo, and I'm a beneficiary of the Hawaiian Homelands Trust. And I want to continue on what Ivalani was saying. Why is Senate Bill 1549 important? Because it aligns with two federal laws. And it aligns with the Hawaii State Constitution. Oh, this is kind of moving for me, I'm sorry. So sorry. I always get choked up.
That's all right.
I get really choked up on this. Okay. This project aligns with state and federal law. It was created, this trust was created when the Hawaiian people were in peril. Everything was, our people, our language, everything. So this is the state's responsibility. And the Hawaiian Homelands Act is not only about awarding leases, it's about building our community. And this homestead community, they've been working on it for 16 years. They're ready. So help them to build their community. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else in the room that would like to testify? Okay, seeing none. Senators, questions?
Yes, I do. Okay, come on up, since you're, have you raised any monies apart from requesting the state for go bonds towards this Kanahili Community Hale?
We have raised $200,000 that was in grant.
Okay, and so that paid for the design that got passed out, or?
That was in the first that we had the $500,000 that was from DeBartolo, from Ed Cobell. We used some of that money for the designs, yes.
And I think I know the answer to this, but I need to ask. When you folks came up with this design for the Kanahili Community Association, I'm assuming you folks had community engagement?
Yes, community engagement, they established in 2009. In the next 4 years, they did the park. For the last 16 years, the community has been collaborating, getting meetings, and the little Shade gives you a little bit pictures of what they did, Shade, that been working with Kanahili Homestead.
Okay, so I'm looking at what was passed out,
Yes,
and it looks like a design,
yes.
but I don't see the hula mound, the la'au lapa'au garden, the certified kitchen that is stated in your testimony. I don't see that in this design.
I
here.
think because the,
Okay, the hula mound, okay, excuse me, the hula mound is there. But
Yeah.
where's the la'au lapa'au garden?
This is the architect team.
Okay, architect, okay. So you passed this out right before you
Yeah.
came here. So
Okay.
where's the garden gonna be?
Okay, it's yeah, we have if you look at this side, the bottom part, that's what
lay
we call the lay
garden.
garden, and then the hula mound is up here, where it's supposed to be. And we have the Imu Hale, and the community center is here with the red dot, because that's what we want to build first.
So the lay garden is gonna also double as a La'au Lapa'au
Yes,
garden?
yes. And then we're planning in the future to have a craft pavilion, so you know, the kupuna and the
Yeah, I
young
see
Keiki
that.
can learn how to do that.
And where's the Lua Martial Arts Practice and Exercise Space? Is that the community center?
Yeah, that can be in the general play area, and then we also have an area for Native Hawaiian games. Up in it's not marked on the map, but it's near a splash pad. There's no swimming pool because, you know, rocks in a swimming pool. And if I may, again, my name is Dean Sakamoto, and I represent Shade Institute, which is a nonprofit public interest design foundation. We work with other 501c3s to help them to do the planning and design portion. And a big part of how we work is we do community engagement. So over the past, since 2020, we've had like 3 versions of workshops. And we have, you know, we had hui's like from different stakeholders' interests, like people interested in the craft, people interested in sports, and we had 4 of them, and culture and recreation was the 4th. And they would all come up with ideas, and we, you know, this plan was basically the result of all those workshops.
Good.
We did it through COVID too.
Okay,
You know,
good.
hybrid and in person with masks.
Thank you,
Yes.
thank you. And like the prior witness said, I'm impressed, but I wanted to make sure that everything she said was actually designed into this.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Senator Favela?
Yes.
Can you
Yes,
just
Senator.
share with the committee on the networking that you guys do in Kanahili with Anti-Jodi Security Watch, so they can understand how engaged that pretty much every single member of the community is?
We are very engaged Kanahili community, as Senator says. When we go about and doing our neighborhood watch, it's 60 plus. And we, you know, combine other communities, even the wait list, we're able to put in their mana'o on this. So Senator is always with the Homestead community. So yes, they really engage. And from Kaupea, they're actually showing us how, you know, the planning and building would do for future projects on Homestead.
And Uncle Chad Kane is one of our advisors. Also, I encourage you guys to use the QR code. You can find out more about the project. If you scroll down, you'll see all the workshops. Everything is there.
Yeah.
Back down to 2019, when it was the first idea when I met Ivalani and Jody.
2016.
2016, yeah.
Yeah,
we
and then
met.
3 years.
We don't have time for a talk story.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Senators, any other questions? Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, I'm ready to roll into decision making.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right. On Senate Bill 1410, it's a recommendation of the chair to pass as is. Vice Chair for the vote.
Okay, thank you very much. For SB 1410, Chair's recommendation is to pass unamended. Chair votes aye, Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Ihara, excuse. Senator Kehokalole.
Aye.
Senator Decort. Aye. Chair recommendation has been adopted.
Thank you. And on subject, Senate Bill 1549, it is recommendation of the chair to pass as is.
SB 1549, Chair's recommendation is to pass unamended with the excused absence of Senator Ihara. Are there any reservations? Are there any no's? Seeing none, Chair recommendation has been adopted.
Thank you. We're at the end of our agenda. We are adjourned. This is the Committee on Hawaiian Affairs for the 1:10 p.m. agenda on Thursday, February 13th. We have one bill on the agenda, Senate Bill 903. Essentially, this is a housekeeping bill, and the intent is to create a vehicle to allow for funding of OHA. The current working group will be sunsetting And what this does is allows the funding to go forward for OHA. There's a proposed Senate Draft 1, and it's the chair's recommendation for this initial public decision-making meeting that will pass this bill with amendments and recommit back to Hawaiian Affairs Committee. The amendments are to insert the contents of the proposed Senate Draft 1. Yeah, and again, this is a housekeeping bill.
Yeah, so for
So-
SB 903, Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments with excused absence of Senator Ihara. Are there any reservations? Are there any noes? Seeing none, Chair recommendation has been adopted.
Thank you, Vice Chair. We stand adjourned.
Okay.
Good afternoon. We're convening the Joint Committees on Transportation and Culture and the Arts and Committee on Hawaiian Affairs on our 1:15 p.m. agenda here in State Capitol Conference Room 224. We have two measures up. The first is Senate Bill 614 relating to Hawaiian Independence Day. Is it 1 minute? Yes. We'll be asking folks to keep their comments to 1 minute so we have time to get through everybody. And testifying first on SB 614 is the Office of Collective Bargaining.
Wilbur Hope, Office of Collective Bargaining. We stand on our testimony, offering comments, and we're available if you have any questions.
Thank you. We also have testimony in opposition from Hawaiian Sovereignty Studies and support from Office of Hawaiian Affairs, as well as the Association for Hawaiian Civic Clubs. And online testifying would be Reese Flores. Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon. Aloha Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the committee. O Reese Flores ko'ui noa no kaneohe mai au. My name is Reese Flores, and I am a student at the University of Hawaii at Manoa, pursuing my bachelor's degree in social work. I also currently work at Windward Community College, mentoring first-year students one-on-one to help them transition into college and the workforce. I am submitting testimony in strong support of SB 614, which would make Hawaiian Independence Day an observed state holiday. I grew up in Hawaii my entire life, but was unaware of much of our true history. And as I got older, I began researching Hawaii's past and the true nature of how we became a state. What I learned was eye-opening and disheartening. As Kanaka Maoli, I find this to be an important part of our history that deserves recognition. We should be reminded that our ancestors fought and sought independence to keep our nation sovereign. However, despite their efforts, Hawaii was illegally occupied by the American government, leading many to forget our previous independence from the British. A common argument I hear today is that Hawaii would have been taken over eventually, but in reality, we were recognized as a sovereign state by the British. Honoring this as a state holiday would help restore this lost history and educate the keiki of the Saina.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Up next is Bailey Parlerbrook Vidina. I apologize, I probably just butchered that.
You said it completely right. Thank you. Aloha mai kako, chair members of the committee. My name is Bailey Vidina, and I'm a social work student at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. I'm here to support Bill SB 614 in establishing La Kuoka'a, or Hawaiian Independence Day, as an observed state holiday. As a Kanaka Maoli, I think it is extremely detrimental to put in all efforts into cultural preservation and protection when it comes to Native Hawaiian practices, history, and observations. It is crucial for us to recognize our gained independence and honor our history and sovereignty. If we can honor Statehood Day and American Independence Day as state or federal holidays, we can honor La Kuoka'a, an important indication of our independence and sovereignty as people. Our history is our future, and we are forever in debt to the greatness that comes with being a part of the Lahui of Hawaii. This is a part of our identity as sovereign people before our identities as American citizens. Establishing La Kuoka'a as an observed state holiday recognizes our joys and our patriotisms as Native Hawaiians in our own homeland. By ensuring November 28th is recognized across the state by those who reside in our birthplace, you're honoring the history of those whose land you reside on. At the University of Hawaii at Manoa, specifically within our social work program,
We ask you
we're
to summarize. Your time is up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so in support of La Kuoka'a being passed.
Thank you very much. We have additional testimony from 33 individuals that's been submitted, but that is everyone who had signed up to testify in person. Is there anyone else wishing to testify this afternoon? Please come forward. Good afternoon.
Get up here. My time is up. Aloha, Chair and Senators. My name is Kimmer Horson, and I support this bill, SB 614, establishing a Hawaiian Independence Day. Would help educate the youth of Hawaii that the Hawaiian Kingdom is still here in full effect, but under belligerent U.S. military occupation. Rather than teaching that Hawaii willingly entered in the Treaty of Annexation, the Ku'e petitions would still be honored and the Queen's wishes for independence kept. This holiday would also help educate newcomers and tourists alike that Hawaii is independent, an entire country of its own, like the Kingdom of Tonga. All right, because of its executive agreements, public schools and charter schools can happily celebrate the Hawaiian Kingdom's independent status collaboratively with the U.S. while U.S. military deoccupation progresses. A bill for terminating Statehood Day would also be wise, as a suggestion. This is a step in the right direction for true Hawaiian Kingdom independence. Mahalo.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on SB 614? All right, seeing none, are there any questions? I don't believe we have anyone here from BNF. All right. Well, if there's, Chair.
Sorry, the collective bargaining, please.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, identify yourself again.
Wilbert Holk, I'm with the Office of Collective Bargaining, and I'm the chief negotiator.
Yeah, thank you. Just, do you have a estimate of what this might cost?
No, I don't.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I can get it for you, though.
Yeah, would you please,
Yeah.
and circulate it to the
Sure,
chairs, and we'll give
I
it to
will.
the committee.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, any further questions? Seeing none, let's move on to the next measure, the agenda, Senate Bill 1051 relating to Hawaiian History Month. We have written testimony submitted from 8 individuals, all in support. That's all the testimony we have. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on SB 1051?
Aloha, Chair and Senators. My name is Kimmer Horson. I fully support this measure, SB 1051, because the true history of the overthrow, the Big Five, the belligerent U.S. military occupation, how Queen Liliuokalani yielded to U.S. military superiority, and how she saved many lives, including U.S. service members, by not going to war with the United States military. Is pertinent to the Hawaii experience. In this manner, residents and tourists alike will learn what really happened and be able to determine their own conclusions about the history, rather than the inaccurate, accounting from American public schools and Treaty of Annexation that doesn't even exist. This is a step in the right direction and long overdue. I hope that all textbooks even that teach that Hawaii is a 50th state is also terminated or canceled or announced as false information or fake news. Mahalo.
Thank you. Is there anyone else wishing to testify on SB 1051? Seeing none, are there any questions? Seeing none. All right, thank you. That's the end of our agenda. We're ready to go straight to decision.
Yeah, we'll right
I think the committees are ready to go straight into decision making. Up first is Senate Bill 614 relating to Hawaiian Independence Day. I'd like to recommend moving this forward with amendments, with technical amendments and adding in a defective date, which will hopefully give us time in the next committee to get, I think, some of the questions answered that were asked. So any discussion on that?
Yeah, Chair, real quick. I'm going to be moving this forward and making the same recommendation you are. I do want to reflect it in the committee reports that I'm concerned about the financial side.
So noted. Okay, anyone else? If not, Vice Chair for the vote.
Chair's recommendation of the Committee on Transportation and Culture and the Arts is to pass SB 614 with amendments. Chair Lee.
Aye.
Vice Chair goes aye. Senator Elefante.
Aye.
Senator Kanuha.
Aye.
And Senator DeCord.
Aye.
Okay. Measure is adopted, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Moving on to Senate Bill 1050.
Oh,
Oh,
we gotta
I'm
vote
sorry.
too.
I'm sorry.
It's all right, we're trying to get through the agendas. On Senate Bill 614 for the Committee on Hawaiian Affairs, same recommendation, Chair votes aye.
For SB 614, Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments. Chair votes aye, Vice Chair votes aye. Senator Ihara is excused. Senator Kehoe-Palole.
Aye.
Senator Court. Aye. Chair recommendation has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now we're moving on to Senate Bill 1051 relating to Hawaiian History Month. Similarly, we'd like to move this forward, passing with amendments, just adding in a defective date. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Vice Chair for the vote.
The Committee on Transportation and Culture and the Arts, Chair's recommendation on SB 1051 to pass with amendments with 5 members present, any voting with reservations, any no votes. Hearing none, our measure is adopted. Mr. Chair.
Thank you.
Okay, and for the Committee of Hawaiian Affairs, same recommendation, passed with a defective date. Vice Chair for the vote.
Okay, thank you very much. SB 1051, Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments, noting the excused absence of Senator Ihara. Are there any reservations? Are there any no's? Seeing none, Chair recommendation has been adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We are adjourned. We're adjourned. Same time.